Hello everyone, and welcome to Apex Legends. Now when you join a match so far, there are 6 characters that you are allowed to freely play as out the gate. Before I get started on this video, I want to explain to you how it's going to go. These next couple minutes I'm going to explain all the characters and kinda how they work. I'm going to talk about my favorite character, Bloodhound. He is amazing. I also started as Gibraltar, but I learned that he wasn't really my style pretty quickly. But I'll explain all of them in, okay detail. My audio quality drops for some weird reason, but so does my inspiration to actually talk about characters I didn't play as. So, at the same time, you gotta explain them. And I did an okay job besides the last 2, but LMAO, stay tuned. Oh, and LMAO, you guys thought you were gonna see gameplay? The first one, and also my favorite, is Bloodhound, who is able to track people with his passive abilities by seeing when they opened doors, when they were shot and bled. Then he has a special called the Eye of the Allfather. This sends out a radar pulse that allows you and your teammates to see where enemies are at, even through walls in an area. Then he has his ultimate, which is called Beast of the Hunt. With this ultimate, you not only move faster, but you also have enemies highlighted in red for you and your teammates. This is really good for rushing people and running away, which will happen eventually. The next hero is Gibraltar. His passive ability is a gun shield, which pops up every time you aim down the sights. Gibraltar's tactical is a dome of protection. Now, this can help you actually protect your teammates, but if you rush the enemies and use it how I use it, you can just single someone off and annihilate them without their friends being able to do anything to you, and that's pretty nice, really. Singling out someone feels pretty good. Unless it's high school bullying, then you should stay away from it. And of course these characters are listed first as they are a part of the LGBTQ community, and that's their representation on this game. But aside from stereotyping social movements, the next character we're going over is Lifeline. Lifeline has a passive ability that lets her heal and revive faster, as well as a shield popping up when she is reviving. Her tactical ability is a robot named Doc that she can throw down, and it'll heal any nearby teammates to almost full health, depending on how fast they get there. Her ultimate is a care package that comes down just like all the others, except hers is guaranteed, quote unquote, to be full of defensive loot that your team may or may not already have. The last on the top row is called Pathfinder. His passive ability is that he can tell where the next circle is going to be, so your team has a little bit of an advantage time-wise. Along with time, Pathfinder also has a personal ability called Grapple Hook, which will help him get almost anywhere he wants, so his speed is increased as well, for tactical uses or just for getting anywhere. His ultimate is just a simple zipline, just like the ones found in-game. You can use this to get away from it or drop on people, depending on how aggressive you're playing. The next character we're going over with is Wraith. Wraith supposedly has a passive ability, which is a voice that tells her when danger is near. Now, I played with a Wraith main for about 10 hours straight, and I didn't get warned once by this voice, or her teammate telling me about this voice, so I feel like it should be improved on. Wraith's tactical ability is called Into the Void. It turns you mostly invisible and makes you move quicker. This is to get the drop on people or run away to revive a teammate or anything helpful that you can do. Wraith's ultimate ability is a rift that lets you teleport from one location to the next for 60 seconds. I find this ultimate nearly useless because you're close to your teammate almost all the time. The last character I'll go over is called Bangalore. Her passive ability lets her move faster when she's under fire. When she is under fire though, it's a smart idea to use her tactical, which is a smoke grenade launcher that you can either use to blind the enemy or hide in. There's also Decoy Dude and Gas Master, but those characters you can learn more about when you play the game.
Hello and welcome to the gameplay. This is
actual in-game footage of Apex Legends. I don't know if you guys have heard about that game. I don't know if you guys have checked BuzzFeed, IGN, Snapchat. This game is everywhere, my guy. Here we are at the actual gameplay of this amazing video game, Apex Legends. Now, here right quick, I'm about to notice that Wraith runs like Naruto. I'm not trying to out Wraith for being an anime watcher, but something tells me she grew up watching Naruto with that running stance.
45 seconds. Rings close.
I'm just glad I saw her running like that because it reminded me to put away my weapon. Now, this part in the game, this little segment of the map, really reminds me of a part of Battlefield 4. When I'm dropping, I usually try and aim for a place that I know is going to have some good loot. Really, anywhere you can always branch off to a place with different loot, or at least kill the people that got the good loot.
Let's land here. Enough landing around. We dropping.
That immediate drop just got me a full starter setup, and I could have killed anyone that landed around me unless I choked and did trash for some random reason. Right in the beginning of the game is really fun, especially if you land around other people. Putting down people without weapons in this game feels really accomplishing, especially since you know that their teammates are going to suffer.
First blood. Hold on if you need it.
I just dunked on 2 people, and I was using a starter pistol while I did it. But then again, so was my opposition, so it made it pretty easy in close quarters. Thinking tactically in this game can help. I was hearing 2 squads fight in here. I was kind of looking for like a better entrance that I could get the drop on them. But then I realized I don't need to get the drop on them when I can drop something on them. I didn't have as many grenades as I wanted at the time, but this clip right here really makes me appreciate having grenades when I had them. Because, like, that's a big feels good.
Let's go this way. Contact with hostile.
Pat yourself on the back if you pick up syringes, because you will need to use a ton of them when you're just laying low. But I'm about to learn the importance of friendship and believing in your teammates, because it's very crucial when you only have 2 that you need them to do good. You need them to do great sometimes. It's really not even about like that 90% of the rest of the game. It's really that 10% where they're like the one in the firefight. They're the one getting pinched. It's really nice to have people that can hold that hard clutch. Melee in this game, really fun to take advantage of because you can just annihilate them. I think what is happening here against my team symbolizes my team being me trying to start up on this game through YouTube versus the other team being the massive amount of streamers that did Fortnite that are coming to this game. can't believe when I'm playing at 3 a.m. I'm this much of a noob.
Reload.
Down.
Grenade.
To say your death is a waste is the understatement of the century.
I like usually sticking to areas that I prefer going to, areas that I know better, areas that I usually think will have loot, but sometimes you'll just drop and you'll be really disappointed with what you find.
Lying around, we dropping.
And then sometimes you can't get the landing you want at all. Overall, the time to kill is very fast. Reviving people is also very fast, but if they die, it can be a bit of a hassle. And honestly, the first game I won, I had to leave one of my teammates behind, just left for dead.
James.
I need help.
Air drone if you need it.
1 minute. The ring is far.
Your team might not always have the supplies you need right in the beginning, so having that healer is really helpful.
Giving my shields a recharge.
The ring isn't very close. 45 seconds.
And I'm not saying that a bunch of 11-year-olds play this game, but look at the mindset here. I don't want to sound like a cat poster, but it is good not to give up in this game because it can really flip on your opponents just as quickly as it flipped on you.
Hey, got our squad mate. New kill leader.
Now, I already didn't expect to get revived right here, as an enemy's right there. I don't know what he thought he was doing. I guess he went to go reload and heal up, even though my team is as critical as you could get.
Taking a knee. Patching up.
But lo and behold, I juice up, I check a couple bodies, you know, usual stuff you do,
My shields a recharge.
and then I take a little walk on my own, leave my teammates, and then sitting there in the corner like a little pussy bitch, the kill leader.
Kill leader's dust. That's how we do.
I got one of my favorite guns and a helmet from his body, so I feel pretty good about that.
Stay nearby. 1 minute till close.
In my opinion, the Wingman is one of the best pistols you can get, especially if you put an extended clip on it and you can just not stop firing as you murder people. To get around in this game, you have to remember to use the environment. There's zip lines and grappling hooks, a ton of places. There's places you can slide down and immediately drop on people. Coming over on zip lines and getting the drop on people is really fun if you want to feel like a pirate or something. Just remember to take advantage of where you are. You have to think very stylistic about each setting you get into. Because remember, it's not just about killing them. It's about flexing on them. The characters work well together, but some of them are very unnurtured as raw characters. They will need buffs as they go. I wouldn't say any character is particularly overpowered, but you can combine them to be pretty messy. It depends on how much team comp you have though. That really matters in a game since you really only have 3 people or 2 others to rely on. That's what matters. You are setting your lives in the hands of 2 people in this game.
Introducing your champion.
I don't quite understand like the champion squad. The champion squad is kind of a joke sometimes because it's really just like a streamer playing with maybe a couple randos. Maybe he has a real squad together and then you like see a bunch of really cool emblems and stuff. But usually it's just like one really good guy and then some randos. I like the LMGs in this game. They might have their issues, but I believe that they are the funnest weapon to play with, especially if you can find the ammunition for them. So, I'm not trying to start clout on this game, but, you know, I am. Gibraltar and Bloodhound? Gay? Question mark? LGBTQ? Question mark? Says Respawn? Now that is something that's gonna be interesting to get into. But I was on Rule 34 earlier, and there's no fan fictions or anything there yet. And by anything, I think you know what I mean. There's none of it. Not a bit. Like, you know how it's like always on top of the game? Nah, 4chan's even pretty behind. And Reddit, yeah, they didn't have any like high quality edgy stuff. They just had like legitimate stuff. Like, what the heck? What are you guys doing? Now my times of gaming to cope are long behind me. Now I just game. Man, I wish I had a better reason. I don't make money like everyone else does playing games. Shout out to all my streamers that I actually know and aren't just faces on my TV or my computer or my phone. I guess I game because it's fun. Really, pay to win has kind of gone out the gate. Now it's just like pay to look good. Which I guess is how it works anyways. Am I right, ladies, with makeup? Geez, Zach, is this what you do? You really just roll out of bed and start shitting on broad groups of people like that? Wow, you need to really increase yourself as a person. Oh wait, how about you better your YouTube content first, you uncreative piece of shit. You know everyone else is doing the same game. Remember, Zach, this is a 20-minute video. You got plenty of time to rant about self-hatred. But let's get to the game, guys. Let's get to the game. During my all-nighter playthrough of this amazing game, I, personally, played as Bloodhound, believe it or not. Then I had a Wraith and a Bang Galore with me, which was pretty good because we were the most aggressive team that you could ever find. I didn't win once, needless to say. I didn't win once. I really wish we had a lifeline, but at the same time, I don't care. It's a fun game. Play whatever you want. We got second and third about 10 times, but when it really gets down to that final stuff, oh my goodness. Clutching is very difficult, apparently.